In the Everyday Hero Manifesto, Robin Sharma promises that each of us has the potential to achieve great things. We don't need superpowers or incredible natural talents to do so. By following the system laid out in this book, you can unlock your heroic potential, realize your dreams, and become a force for good in the world. Sharma is a leadership expert, motivational speaker, and international best-selling author. He's arguably best known for his self-help parable, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, 1996, which blends Buddhist teachings with secular practicality to help you live a healthy, balanced, and fulfilling life. The Everyday Hero Manifesto, 2021, is the basis of one of Sharma's online self-help courses and is, according to some reviewers, the most important book he's ever released. Our guide begins with a brief introduction laying out Sharma's premise for this book: that you can accomplish great things. We'll then discuss Sharma's suggestions for strengthening your mind, body, and heart to fulfill your heroic potential. Finally, we'll go over the guidelines that Sharma lays out for how an everyday hero should act. In our commentary, we'll connect Sharma's ideas to those in other influential self-help books, such as First Things First and Limitless. By doing so, we'll explore Sharma's suggestions more deeply, provide actionable advice on how to get started with your self-improvement journey, and present other points of view about how to unlock your potential. Short-form note: the term everyday hero is arguably the best way to describe Sharma's concept for two reasons. First, hero is the best word to convey strength, courage, and selflessness all at once, and these are the ideals this book aims to help you embody. Second, everyday carries a double meaning that underscores Sharma's argument. Heroism is more everyday, common than you think, and you can be a hero every day. New section. Introduction: You're a hero. Sharma begins by saying that everyone has the ability to be an everyday hero. For Sharma, a hero is an ordinary person who lives in an extraordinary way. You don't need to be a genius or have any exceptional talents to be a hero in Sharma's eyes. You simply need to fully commit to your purpose in life, exhibit positive attributes like integrity and empathy, and try to make the world a better place. For example, a paramedic who saves lives is an everyday hero, but so is an artist whose work uplifts and inspires people. An office worker who always does his best and who's always ready to brighten someone else's day with a joke or a kind gesture could also be an everyday hero. What kind of hero are you? Jim Kwik's book Limitless has a similar premise to the Everyday Hero Manifesto. Everyone has the potential to do extraordinary things. However, whereas Sharma says that you don't need to be a genius to do great things, Kwik says that you already are a genius. You just need to figure out what kind of genius you are. If you think you're not a genius, it's because you haven't been playing to your strengths. For example, some people are exceptionally good at memorizing small, intricate details, while others are exceptionally good at understanding large-scale concepts. However, if those two types of people tried to take on each other's roles, they wouldn't do very well. So, while you're learning how to become an everyday hero, also think about what kind of heroic work you're best suited for. For example, if you're good with details, perhaps one way you could become an everyday hero would be to handle birthday celebrations in your workplace. Learn when your co-workers' birthdays are and make sure they get recognition, cards, or gifts to help brighten their days. New section. Realize your heroic potential. Becoming a hero like Sharma describes doesn't require superpowers or extraordinary talents, but it does require work. In this section, we'll go over Sharma's suggestions for how to strengthen your mind, body, and heart to realize your full heroic potential. We'll also explore how to set up your workspace and living space to help you succeed. Short-form note: Sharma provides so many different ways to tap into your full potential that this section may seem overwhelming. Another of his books, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, explains how to pursue self-improvement in a healthy, manageable way. By practicing Kaizen, a Japanese word meaning continuous, steady growth. You don't need to make all of these changes at once. Instead, your goal for each day should be to make one small improvement. Empower your body. Sharma says that being in good physical health will greatly boost your energy and confidence, which is crucial for someone who wants to accomplish great things. He offers 2 tips for how to empower your body. Tip 1. Eat a healthy diet. First, Sharma recommends eating only fresh local food, with nutritional supplements to make up for any dietary shortcomings. For example, if you live somewhere citrus fruits don't grow, you could take vitamin C supplements to make up for that lack. Short form note: some experts say that eating locally grown food is actually healthy for you, your local economy, and the environment. This is because local foods are fresher, without the need for artificial preservatives. In fact, it's often less than 24 hours from when local produce is harvested to when it's bought. This is important because some studies have linked processed foods with high levels of preservatives to weight gain, cancer, heart disease, and dementia. Furthermore, buying locally means spending locally. The money goes to members of your community instead of large supermarket chains. Finally, local food doesn't need to be transported as far, which means fewer vehicle emissions are released into the air. Intermittent fasting can also help strengthen your body. Periods of fasting cause your body to enter survival mode, where it focuses on repairing cellular damage and using energy efficiently. Fasting also boosts your brain function, which may enhance your productivity. Sharma says that on days he wants to be especially productive, he doesn't eat any food until dinner time. He subsists on coffee, tea, and plenty of water. However, he also recommends speaking to a doctor before you start any sort of intermittent fasting plan. Short form note: some scientists argue that intermittent fasting works because after several hours without food, your body uses up the calories from your last meal and starts burning fat instead. Furthermore, some studies support Sharma's claim that intermittent fasting has benefits beyond just losing weight. It improves your memory, lowers your blood pressure, and may even be an effective treatment for type 2 diabetes. Tip 2. Exercise regularly. Second, Sharma says to exercise regularly. Exercise has countless well-documented health benefits. Further, exercise causes your brain to produce chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, which boost your motivation and concentration respectively. This will help you to do your best work every day. Short form note: some doctors say that frequent aerobic exercise doesn't just cause your brain to release those chemicals, it actually causes parts of your brain to grow bigger. Specifically, it stimulates growth in the hippocampus, which controls your ability to learn and remember information. Furthermore, some research shows that exercise is so effective at boosting motivation and concentration that it actually mimics the effects of Adderall, a powerful stimulant often used to treat ADHD. Empower your mind. Just like you need to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet in order to have a strong body, Sharma says that you need to feed your mind educational and empowering ideas in order to strengthen it. Think about the people you spend the most time with, the TV shows you watch, and so on. Anything that you regularly feed your mind. Make sure you're getting helpful and inspirational messages from them. Get rid of anyone and anything that frequently gives you degrading, hurtful, or hateful ideas. Short form note: strengthening your brain by feeding it positive messages isn't just a metaphor. In Behave, neurologist Robert Sapolsky says that your brain physically changes in response to certain stimuli, a phenomenon called neuroplasticity. Much like your muscles, your brain gets better at things it does frequently. Therefore, by focusing on positive ideas like compassion or self-esteem, you'll find that those ideas start coming to you more easily over time. In other words, thanks to neuroplasticity, you can intentionally change your personality and become the kind of person you want to be. Spend your mental energy wisely. Unfortunately, no matter how much you strengthen your mind, you'll always have a limited amount of mental energy you can use each day. Therefore, it's crucial to use your mental energy wisely. Short form note: overusing your mental energy can cause burnout, a severe form of exhaustion that can impact every part of your life. Burnout occurs when high levels of stress over a long period of time cause you to become unmotivated, depressed, and irritable. You might find yourself skipping work or school much more often than usual, and you can even become more prone to getting sick. Sharma says that you'll be at your best during the first 90 minutes of your workday before you start getting fatigued. Therefore, you should tackle your most important tasks right away. Planning ahead is key for this. Figure out what absolutely needs to get done so you know what to do first each day. Also, schedule plenty of time to rest and recover, especially if your job requires a lot of brain power. You can't do your best heroic work if you're tired. Importantly, Sharma says that recovery methods vary from person to person and situation to situation. For example, one person might find that going on a nature walk in the afternoon is the best way to rest and recover, while another might have better results watching their favorite TV show in the evening. Short form note: what if you're not sure which activities best help you to rest and recharge? Some simple ways to mentally recharge include exercising, meditating, spending time in nature, and spending time with animals. Give these a try and see if they work for you. If they don't, keep trying different restful activities until you find one that suits you. Use your energy wisely by prioritizing your tasks and goals. In First Things First, Stephen Covey gives further advice for planning ahead and managing your time. His advice may help you implement Sharma's recommendations for spending your mental energy wisely. First, Covey suggests writing down everything you know you need to do, whether short-term or long-term, and dividing those tasks into categories based on their importance and their urgency. Things that are both important and urgent, like a time-sensitive report, are things that you should do right away. Perhaps during the first 90 minutes of your workday, as Sharma suggests. For things that are important but not urgent, like big goals, schedule time to do them later on. By following this prioritization method, you'll handle most of your important tasks before they become urgent, meaning that you won't be in a constant state of emergency, racing to complete tasks. As a result, you'll have more time to work slowly and steadily on tasks that are important but not urgent, such as your long-term goals. Also, if an emergency does arise, you'll have the time to deal with it. Covey adds that you might be tempted to put rest and recreation in the not urgent, not important category because it doesn't feel productive. However, taking care of yourself is an important task that you should handle before it becomes urgent. In other words, you should take the time to rest before you burn yourself out. Empower your heart. A strong body and mind are crucial for an everyday hero, but Sharma says that you'll never reach your full potential unless your heart's in it too. He adds that past traumas often weigh heavily on your heart and stop you from bringing your full energy and enthusiasm to what you're doing. In this section, we'll explore 2 steps Sharma shares for recovering from such experiences, thereby empowering your heart. Short form note: if you suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, the psychological effects of past events can quite literally take you out of the present moment. For instance, if you experience flashbacks or intrusive thoughts, these effects can stop you from putting your attention and energy into the task at hand, as well as being generally distressing. Even if you don't suffer from PTSD, your past experiences affect your present actions in ways that we'll explore throughout the rest of this section. Step 1. Admit your heart is damaged. The first step to healing your heart is to admit it's damaged. Even if you haven't endured severe trauma, you're still carrying old hurts, disappointments, and embarrassments, and those past events could still be affecting you. For example, if you have a painful memory of your ideas being ignored or laughed at, you may be more reluctant to share your ideas today. Short form note: the reason upsetting and traumatic experiences can affect you so strongly is that they change your brain physically. Most notably, they change the areas of the brain associated with regulating emotions and coping with fear. This means that after you experience an upsetting or traumatic event, you could develop an irrational fear of any situation that reminds you of it. For example, if you once got stuck in a closet as a child, you might have an intense fear of small spaces, not just because you're remembering something upsetting, but because your brain is telling you that you're in immediate danger, even if you know rationally that you're not. Step 2. Practice mindfulness. Next, Sharma suggests healing your heart by practicing mindfulness. When you experience powerful emotions, positive or negative, focus on the physical sensations you're feeling instead of your thoughts. Don't try to judge what you're feeling, just identify and acknowledge it. For example, are your shoulders tense? Is your jaw clenched? Do you feel sick to your stomach? Short form note: it might seem strange to focus on physical sensations when you're trying to get to grips with your emotions, but there's a connection between your mind and your body that makes this mindfulness practice effective. Every emotion causes certain physical responses, so by identifying those physical sensations, you can work backward to understand which emotions cause them. Notably, the mind-body connection works both ways, meaning that you can also change your emotions, to an extent, through physical actions. For instance, you may be able to genuinely improve your mood by faking a smile. Once you've identified what you're feeling, allow yourself to experience it fully. It's often uncomfortable. You'll be tempted to try to ignore the sensations or force them to stop. However, trying to get rid of those sensations is counterproductive. It'll only keep you focused on them, much like how saying, "Don't think of an elephant," will cause you to immediately think of an elephant. That's why accepting your feelings is a crucial part of moving past them. Finally, once you're able to, let go of those feelings and allow them to fade away. Tip: practice radical acceptance. Sharma says that after fully experiencing your feelings, you can let them go. In Radical Acceptance, Tara Brach goes into greater detail about a practice that can help you to move past unpleasant feelings. This process, radical acceptance, has two elements. 1. Recognition. This is the first step that Sharma describes above, clearly identifying your feelings as they happen. This is the first step toward radical acceptance because you first have to understand what you're accepting. 2. Compassion. Be kind to yourself and to your feelings. Don't berate yourself for having feelings you don't like or that you think you shouldn't be having. Instead, feel them fully, as Sharma suggests, and remember that you always deserve love and kindness. You simply happen to be experiencing something unpleasant right now. That doesn't mean you should act on those unpleasant feelings, for instance, lash out because you're angry. Rather, you can accept those feelings and move past them without indulging them or blaming yourself for them. Brach says that meeting strong feelings with recognition and compassion will allow you to accept those feelings for what they are. Temporary experiences that will rise up and fade away naturally. She believes that a powerful benefit of this mindfulness practice is the ability to understand and love yourself, even when you're having thoughts and feelings you don't want to have. You'll come to accept that experiencing these temporary sensations doesn't change your essential goodness. You'll also find, over time, that you're able to control your responses. In other words, you'll still have strong thoughts and feelings, but you won't feel compelled to act on them or try to counterproductively force them away. Create an empowering environment. So far, all of Sharma's advice has been about empowering yourself. However, you don't exist in a vacuum. Your surroundings can also have profound impacts on your energy, confidence, and enthusiasm. Therefore, as much as possible, you should shape your environment to help you succeed. Short-form note: some researchers agree with Sharma that your surroundings have significant effects on your mental and emotional health, noting that this holds true even if you're not consciously aware of your surroundings. For example, if your room isn't well lit, you may have become so used to the dimness that you don't notice it anymore. However, low light can contribute to stress, anxiety, and depression. First, set up your workspace to motivate yourself and eliminate distractions. For example, hang inspirational art on the walls or fill a bookshelf with books that are meaningful to you. If there's something that tends to pull your attention away from your work, such as a television, get rid of it if you can. Short-form note: Sharma's suggestions for setting up your workspace focus on what you can see from where you're sitting. However, another important aspect of a workspace is what you can do in it. For instance, some people find it very helpful to have a work area that allows them to stand up and move around. If your energy or focus is dwindling, taking a minute to stand up and move your body can act as a mental reboot or help you find a new way to think about whatever problem you're stuck on. Second, Sharma suggests keeping your surroundings clean, both at work and at home. Keeping your home and office clean will give you a sense of empowerment and control. You can look around and see the immediate, tangible effects of the work you've done, cleaning. Conversely, being surrounded by dirt or clutter is distracting and stressful, so it will keep you from doing your best work each day. Short-form note: Sharma stresses the importance of keeping your space clean, but doesn't offer much advice on how to do that. One easy tip is to start small. For example, just clean the one room that you spend the most time in, or set aside just 15 minutes each day for cleaning. Another tip is to create a goal to motivate yourself, like deciding that you'll throw a party for an upcoming holiday, and so your house needs to be clean by then. New section: How to be a hero every day. We've explored Sharma's definition of a hero and how to bring out the hero that was always inside you. In this final section, we'll discuss the 5 principles that Sharma says allow you to get the best results from your heroic abilities. Short form note: this section contains what Sharma calls the 5 leaps. Although the leaps themselves make up a small portion of the book, they form the foundation of Sharma's concept of everyday heroism, and the rest of the book expands on those 5 core ideas. That's why we've devoted much of this guide to these 5 principles. We've also rearranged these principles to put finding your purpose first. Without knowing your purpose, the rest of this work might feel unfulfilling and unnecessary. Principle 1. Focus on the tasks that matter. Stop just keeping yourself busy and start doing meaningful, purposeful work. Sharma notes that often we equate having a busy life with being productive. However, if your time is packed with busy work and distractions, rather than work that advances you toward your meaningful goals, then you're not truly being productive. Further, you're not living up to your heroic potential. To become an everyday hero, you must replace mindless distractions and less impactful tasks with purposeful and rewarding work. For instance, imagine you currently spend an hour each workday in meetings that don't really require your attendance and an hour each evening scrolling social media. To use that time more wisely and heroically, you might spend it developing your professional skills, creating art that holds significant meaning for you, or doing volunteer work for a cause you believe in. You might also spend time helping others. We'll discuss the importance of this in detail later. What if you can't eliminate less impactful tasks? It may not be possible to eliminate all less impactful tasks from your schedule and replace them with work that feels more meaningful and purposeful. For instance, in the workplace, you may have no choice but to complete tasks that don't feel that meaningful to you. If your boss mandates that they're part of your job, you have to do them or risk censure. In this case, you might tell yourself that, while you can't eliminate all meaningless work from your schedule, you can make a conscious effort to dedicate as much time as possible to things that feel purposeful. Focus on eliminating the less impactful activities that are in your control, for example, your social media usage. Principle 2. Build self-confidence. Stop saying "I can't" and start saying "I can." Sharma means this literally. The words you say affect your mindset, so every time you say "I can't," you're weakening yourself, and every time you say "I can," you're empowering yourself. Short form note: it's not just the words you say that can impact your mindset. According to some psychologists, the words you hear can affect you too, and in turn, impact your performance at work and in social situations. For example, a study from 2020 showed that student athletes were happier and played better in games where they were cheered on by a teacher compared to games where they got no verbal encouragement. However, the opposite is also true. Hurtful words, such as bullying and insults, can lower your confidence and hinder your effectiveness at work. To boost your confidence and get in the habit of using empowering words, Sharma suggests that you start each day with a simple mantra, a word or short phrase that focuses your thoughts. For example, before you get out of bed in the morning, you might say, "Today I will be kind, enthusiastic, and productive." You can also use words to guide your mind away from negative thoughts. For instance, if you notice self-defeating or belittling thoughts creeping in, say something like, "Let's not think about that," or "That's not who I am." Using mantras for mental empowerment. Sharma implies that saying an empowering phrase just once will focus your thoughts and boost your confidence, but a mantra is typically something you repeat over and over while meditating. A session of mantra-based meditation, MBM, could last anywhere from a few minutes to half an hour. Some research supports Sharma's claim that mantras can help you feel empowered and shut out negative thoughts. For instance, mantra-based meditation, MBM, can lead to significant improvements in your mental health, reduce stress and anxiety, and help relieve symptoms of depression. Principle 3. Take responsibility. Stop making excuses and start taking responsibility. Sharma says that your power comes from taking responsibility for everything in your life, that it's up to you and nobody else to create the life you want. Blaming other people or circumstances for your problems might soothe your ego, but it will also trap you in a mindset of helplessness. You'll convince yourself that you're powerless and there's no point in trying to improve your situation. For example, an aspiring author sometimes needs to submit a manuscript to dozens of different publishers before one of them accepts it. Even then, the author might have to do numerous revisions before it's ready for publication. An author who takes responsibility for her own outcomes will do that, and whatever else is necessary to get the book published. On the other hand, an aspiring author who doesn't take responsibility might soothe her ego by blaming a rejection or set of extensive revisions on the publisher, the industry, or anything else that makes it someone else's problem. She might decide that she simply can't succeed in these hostile conditions and give up on finding a publisher for her book. Responsibility isn't blame. There's a common misconception that taking responsibility, or accountability, is akin to saying that your problems are your own fault. As a result, many people don't want to take responsibility for their lives. It feels like admitting that they did something wrong. However, self-help expert Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***ck, explains that there's a crucial difference between accepting responsibility and accepting blame. Whatever problems you're facing might not be your fault, but it's still your responsibility to deal with them. You're the only one who can fix your problems. For example, if you had a traumatic childhood, that's in no way your fault, but you're still the one who has to heal from that trauma and learn how to live a happy, fulfilling life. Manson's tip for taking accountability is to recognize that you're always making choices, no matter what situation you're in. Even when you feel completely powerless, say if you're stuck in a hospital or in prison, you're still in control of your actions and your attitude, and by recognizing that, you're accepting responsibility to deal with your situation. You can still consider why you're in that situation, think about how it could help you, and decide to make the best of it. If you do the opposite and spend your time there sulking or robotically going along with what people tell you to do, that's also a choice you're making, and you're not accepting responsibility to improve your situation. Principle 4. Be resilient. Stop getting discouraged and start getting motivated. Sharma says that an everyday hero finds inspiration in hardship and failure. Every setback is a chance to learn and a reason to improve. For example, if you were passed over for a promotion at work, that's an opportunity to ask your boss how you can become a better employee and to transform your disappointment into motivation to work harder. Further, stop brooding about events that left you feeling bitter or regretful. If there's a lesson to learn from those events, learn it. Then let the memories go. Reflect on your joys and triumphs. Remember the great things you've already done, so you'll know that you can overcome your current struggles. Short-form note. In this section, Sharma recommends letting go of hurtful memories by meditating on your successes. Practicing gratitude meditation specifically is a great way to remind yourself of the great things you've accomplished and come to terms with difficult or upsetting events. A key part of gratitude meditation is to practice feeling grateful for the things in your life that seem negative, such as losing a job, in addition to your joys and triumphs. Through gratitude meditation, you'll often find that those seemingly bad experiences were crucial in helping you learn valuable lessons or build mental and emotional resilience, thereby making you better able to handle future challenges. How to move past failure and disappointment. The difference between someone who learns from failure and someone who unhelpfully broods on it is often ego, an overblown sense of one's own importance or abilities. As Ryan Holiday explains in Ego is the Enemy, an egotistical person will often refuse to learn from failure because they take it personally. They view failure and disappointment as direct personal attacks, and therefore become defensive instead of responding rationally. For instance, if you fail a test, your ego might drive you to blame your teachers, the exam proctors, or the test itself, meaning that you'll see no reason to address your own shortcomings. However, if you're able to set aside your ego, you can then recognize where your own skills and knowledge fell short and work on fixing those shortcomings so that you'll pass the next test. Principle 5. Live selflessly. Don't just do great things for others. Sharma says an everyday hero understands that helping others is the best way to enrich your own life and find true happiness, satisfaction, and pride in who you are. Therefore, make helping others your greatest passion. In other words, use your heroic abilities to benefit others, not just yourself. This final principle goes directly against the common belief that there's not enough for everyone. Enough money, enough resources, enough respect, and so on. People who hold this belief try to take whatever they can at everyone else's expense because they're afraid of not having enough resources for themselves. This selfishness is an ancient and deeply rooted survival instinct, but it's one that you can overcome through compassion and rational thinking. Sharma urges you to recognize that the world today is very different from how it was for our ancestors. Today, there is enough for everyone to survive and be happy. Short-form note: Sharma is saying that humans have evolved to be selfish because our ancestors had to be selfish in order to survive. However, some people disagree with this perspective. For instance, Richard Dawkins explains in The Selfish Gene that animals, including humans, engage in both selfish and selfless behaviors to maximize their odds of survival. In other words, we're not genetically programmed for pure selfishness. In fact, living in tribes where people could take care of each other was crucial to early human survival. Furthermore, recent research suggests that there's no reason for people to selfishly fight over resources. One study says that the Earth can support 3 times the current population if we use its resources wisely. Help yourself by working hard for others. Philosophers from many different schools of thought believe that making the world a better place isn't just a moral duty, but also the best way to live a satisfying life. In other words, even from a selfish perspective, working hard and doing your best for others is worth the effort. By helping other people, you'll also make yourself happy. In The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Sharma himself offers one possible explanation for why that is. You're part of the world, not just an isolated individual living in it. Therefore, by improving the world around you, you're also improving yourself and your circumstances. Further, Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, one of the definitive texts on Stoicism, says that working for the common good is the only way to live a happy and fulfilling life. Aurelius's reasoning is that to feel fulfilled, you must have a consistent goal, what Sharma would call your purpose, and spend your life working toward that goal. However, people are naturally inconsistent. Your personal desires and goals will change frequently. Therefore, any fulfilling goal must be selfless rather than oriented around your ever-changing personal preferences.